We've actually got a couple of people that are here today to speak, and they've travelled quite some distance, because anyone coming to Mount Isa actually has to travel a bit of a distance to get here. And one of those, the first one that I would like to introduce, is Donna Goddard, and Donna's come all the way from Brisbane and represents PFLAG. So we've heard from Christy from the local PFLAG, but I'd like to welcome now Donna Goddard from PFLAG Brisbane. She wish she could bring some other people, but once again, it's a bit of a trek.
Thanks very much, Jodie. Hi everyone, and welcome to today. And again, I'd like to reiterate the thanks to the organisers. Before I jump into what I've kind of prepared, I'd like to just make a comment around Mount Isa and what's happening here today, and what an important thing it is, not just here in Mount Isa but across Queensland. Outside of Brisbane, there's not a lot happening in other rural communities. So I haven't been asked to come to anywhere else to speak in Queensland. So it's really, I think you all deserve a clap for even just being here and putting on what you have today. So well done. Yeah. So first, I just want to say a little bit about PFLAG and what we do. So PFLAG, fundamentally, we do three things. Quite simple. We support, we educate, and we advocate. So support, we have meetings, we provide support line. There's online on our website, there's a line that you can call pretty much any time of the day or night. You will wake me up if you call me at night though. But we are available online, we're available via Facebook, Twitter, we're available via all of those online resources. So even though we're a Brisbane, or my particular group is from Brisbane, we do try and support all of Queensland and even into other places in Australia. In terms of educate, if you go across to our table over there, there's a load of resources that have been supplied by PFLAG Brisbane, and we supply most PFLAG groups throughout Australia. So there's a lot of work that goes into those resources and education. So that's partly how we educate. We also educate in conversation. So every time we come to something like this, we talk to people, we talk to the community, we talk and we try and educate people as much as we can. In my everyday life, I speak about LGBT rights, I speak about marriage equality, I speak about my son. And I do that because I think it's important that every day, in every conversation, that you're highlighting what's important to you. And we advocate, so I guess that's part of it as well. We do some formal advocacy in terms of talking to MPs and advocating for marriage equality, for instance. One of the things that we're working on at the moment as a group is homophobic bullying here in Queensland schools. So it's come to our attention that, just a couple of quick stats, I'm not a statistician, but 80% of LGBT youth in Queensland, 80% of LGBT youth in Queensland are bullied. 4 times more likely, those kids are 4 times more likely to self-harm or suicide. And that's we're talking about lives, we're talking about kids' lives, right? So we have been talking to the Department of Education and trying to get them to write policies on homophobic bullying. We are the only state in Australia that has nothing in terms of education or policy from the Department of Education in the state. So we're working very closely with them at the moment to try and combat that. We are also, we have pulled together a working group on that issue. So we have the support of the Queensland Police, for instance, who are a great advocate for us. We have Queensland Teachers Union, Independent Teachers Union, Family Planning Australia, Open Doors. We have a load of people coming together to fight this issue. One of the things that I do is I gather stories about bullying instances, homophobic bullying, and I present those to the Department of Education. So if anybody would like to speak to me today about that, that is anonymous. It's not publicised in the media unless you ask me to do so. It's just communicated to the Department of Education. Just a little bit about myself. So that's PFLAG in a nutshell, as quickly as I can. A little bit about myself and why I'm here and what I'm doing. My son came out to me 2.5 years ago when he was 18. My son and I were very close, as I am with all my kids, and I had suspected for some time, and I think that grows over a period of time, that there was something going on. And I was quite concerned about my son because I didn't know how he was dealing with it. He wasn't able to speak to me about it, and for whatever reason, he was coming to terms with that himself before he felt like he could verbalise it to me. And I think it's important to understand that although I had been supportive, it was still a really difficult thing for him to finally say it to me, because once you've said it, you can't take it back. Once it's out there forever. So when he came out to me, I just looked around and I went, the world around him is not conducive to him growing up healthy and happy and having the same rights as my other children. So that was the point where I said, I'm going to change the world. And I know that's, whatever, change the world, that's my story. Since then, I started to get involved with PFLAG, and I started to hear the stories of other parents and other kids. And some of them are quite frightening, some of them are just heart-wrenching, and some of them are really good, positive stories as well. So the type of thing that's happening here today is a great example of that kind of positive support that a community can bring to these kids. That's a little bit about me. One of the things I just wanted to talk about as well was what it means to be a straight ally, because PFLAG, I guess, we kind of look at ourselves as being one of the bigger unified groups of being straight allies across Australia. And I'm sure that a number of you here today are straight. I'm not going to ask you to put up your hand because, that's fine, but I'm sure that there's a number of people here today that are straight. And if you're not straight, I challenge you to talk to your straight family, to your straight friends, and to the people around you, and have the conversations with them about what it means to you. What does marriage equality mean to you? What does homophobic bullying mean to you? What does it mean to you when someone says, that's so gay? So there's a little poster over there, that's so gay is so yesterday. But what I want to say to you is, think about the language that you use. For all the straight people, think about the language that you use. When you say, that's so gay, you think you're saying, that's so stupid, that's so wrong, that's so bad. The gay person beside you, what they hear is, I'm so stupid, I'm so bad. And that's a really negative message to be sending people that you love. Advocate for changing your own world. And that doesn't mean necessarily going out with placards and walking down the street. It means talking to people. It means challenging ideas, challenging the people around you. When things are said, when conversations are had, speak up. Speak up to your son, your daughter, your cousin, your friend, whoever it is that's in your life that identifies on the LGBT spectrum. One of the things I'd just like to finish up by saying is think about what you say, because the people around you, you never know what people around you might need your support. And there have been many conversations where I have had a positive conversation with people about LGBT issues, and someone completely, even outside of the conversation, that had just listened, came up to me later and said, I really want to thank you for what you said, because X, Y, Z, and this is my story. People need support, and so, just be careful about what you say. I guess I talked about changing the world before, and I say that a bit tongue-in-cheek, but what I'd like to finish up by saying is that I'm trying to change the world one conversation at a time. So, thanks very much for listening.